And we're live. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little Thanksgiving special you're seeing here. This is the last episode of the week. We're going to be discussing the chaotic, the blockbuster shenanigans that went on with Binance yesterday, the largest crypto exchange in the world, maybe for now, and why Solana and other cryptocurrencies could be in for a troublesome rest of 2023, and what to make of Blast's 48-hour domination so far. I know Kix has some thoughts there, easy as well. Saw you guys tweeting about it. Nick, how's your sound going? Can we do a little sound check here?
How's this microphone sound?
Your voice sounds deeper. It sounds like you've matured.
Well, this is just naturally what my voice sounds like. It's incredibly deep. I actually can't hear the microphone, so I'm glad that it's working properly. Does it sound like it's at least quality?
No.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It kind of sounds like shit.
Really?
It sounds like your voice is kind of going into a paper towel roll.
Like a reverse funnel.
How about this microphone instead?
That's
Much
way
better.
Like way better.
All right, well, I'm on my AirPods now.
Great.
It's not bad at all. Kix, you actually have the most professional setup out of all of us today. You look great.
By far.
Thank you.
Dude is handsome. Look at that. Fresh hair, some gel in it.
Yeah.
Nice back.
Actually, just water. Just let the water kind of dry out. Shout out to Nick and Pio for 2 years of coaching to get to this point today.
We were actually going to make a video coming down to train you on it, so I'm pretty excited that we don't have to do that right now.
Absolutely. Bunny, I see you have your hand raised. What's going on, man?
Yeah, my son ripped the cord out of the computer. It broke. I can't be on video. So if somebody could describe what everybody's doing on the video stream throughout the show, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, Nick's in Eastern Europe. He's eating a pierogi, drinking breakfast tea right now. There's some quaint art on the background. He's got a blanket behind him. Okay. Well, that's it.
I'm at my mom's, and she said that me recording in the dining room was too inconvenient.
I like the honesty. That comes with age.
Real quick, before we start the discussion and the weather report, I had a quick question for you guys because I was getting into a little bit of a Twitter reply, not fight, but discussion yesterday on the about relatives and talking to them about crypto in the holidays. So for a little bit of context, I'm in a little bit of a dilemma because I shilled Ethereum to literally all my family and friends when it was at over $3,500. It was on the come down from a recent high. So I'm curious. I need a little bit of advice. Are you guys talking to crypto at all to your parents, shilling them, or your family members shilling them Solana at all? Maybe Bitcoin, Ethereum?
No. Way easier, Clemente. MicroStrategy. Just MicroStrategy. That's it. They understand the stock. They buy a stock.
I personally never give friends, family, or associates investment advice with a few exceptions, because my theory is if you're right and you make them money, they're going to come back to you and they're going to keep asking you for like more ways to make money, right? And if you're wrong and you lose money, they're going to hate you either openly or behind your back. So there's really no winning unless someone is like a sophisticated investor, like they know what you're doing. Like if you have an uncle, right? And he's, Uncle Tony, he knows how to make the money. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, Uncle Tony, this is a risky bet here. But like one time I had my hair cutter asked me to buy whether like Ethereum was a good buy at 2,500. And I was like, I'm not getting involved in that. You got to make your own decision, because like I'm going to have to find a new hair cutter if it doesn't work out. You know what I mean?
Easy just disappeared due to the echo cancellation. I don't know what his deal is, but
you mean a barber, right? You mean a barber?
Yeah.
What?
Close to the hair cutter.
Well, I actually go to a salon, so I was gonna say salonist.
That's easy. He's a salonist.
Is my echo on?
Yeah. So in terms of Jesus, sorry for the lack of professionalism today, everybody. Clemente is running the show, so you know that clearly there's going to be issues as a result of him.
It's going to be one of the best shows ever. Also, I received a little bit of backlash for my title, which we can talk about this later, but I received various comments.
That title sucked, dude.
Saying I was being disrespectful to CZ.
I thought
What was it?
It was a fun play on word.
It's see ya later, alligator.
I thought that was a good title, actually. I did see that. Well, outside of the CZ situation was that was a temporary, news event. So it seems that we're all good. Funds are safe. Nothing to worry about here. Everything's good. All he had to do was plead guilty to money laundering, which seems like a pretty, not too big of a deal. And the fact that he pleaded guilty makes me assume that he's avoiding jail time.
So he could face 18 months. A lot of people speculating it's going to be house arrest, which he might serve in Miami. Fun fact. So just another reason to be down there. Maybe you guys could find him, interview him. But no, it seems that he's not going to be doing any jail time. He's out right now on 157 million, 158 million bond. So yeah, not cheap. There's also some rumors going around that SBF was the reason that he's actually getting charged, because SBF is a little rat narc.
Well, all right. Well, we'll discuss that later on in the show. Kicks, I'm going to throw it over to you for the weather report in just a second. But real quick, we're doing another. It's the season of giving, guys, and we couldn't be more thankful to be giving away some extraction packs, some medium ones today, in partnership with Shrapnel, our amazing gaming partners. All you need to do to enter is go to the pinned tweet that is pinned up right above and comment a screenshot of an extraction pack that you've purchased in the past. And in case you're totally new to the show, because I see a lot of new listeners coming in because of this badass title, and you don't know what Shrapnel or extraction packs are, a quick rundown is that Shrapnel's been working on a freaking insane badass first-person extraction style shooter game for quite some time, and it's going to be released via early access next month. The easiest way, the best way to guarantee you get early access to this game is to just buy an extraction pack, and you can do so at thenifty.com/shrapnel. Use promo code Nifty for 30% off. And make sure if you do, make sure you comment in the pinned tweet above, and we'll be giving away some extraction packs today. But that's it for today. We'll be talking a little bit more about Shrapnel later on in the show. But Kicks, I'll throw it over to you for the weather report whenever you're ready.
Can you make me a co-host, Clemente? Jeez Louise, man.
We're coming in hot here. Today is Wednesday, November 22nd. Market volume coming in at 12.3 million. We got Blur at 8.1, OpenSea 3.6, Solana at 3, up slightly. Looking over at the leaders, Bored Apes are down 3% to 26, down 19% from their local high 2 weeks ago. Captain's down to 4.2, Pudgy's up 3% to 5.6, Punk's up 2% to 56 ETH. Other movers, including Grapes, up 13%, Yoga Pets up 7% to 0.5 ETH, and Parallel Avatars up 7% to 0.8 ETH. Over the past 24 hours, Binance has agreed to pay the U.S. $4.3 billion to settle a criminal investigation. Their founder and CEO, CZ, has also agreed to step down, pleading guilty to U.S. money laundering allegations. And Richard Tang's taken over as CEO. BNB token did not like the news, down 10% in the last 24 hours. The winner of the day is Blast, the layer 2 created by Blur's Pac-Man that was announced during Monday's airdrop claim. In 24 hours, the L2 has reached a total value locked of over 81 million. I think it's up over 100 million right now. 23,000 plus users. On top of that, the Blur token is up 24% to 0.45. That's a bullish unlock. Cool Cats have dropped the very first episode of their animated short series, The Milk Chug. This short will be the first of many dropped in future on YouTube as an effort to expand their IP, and they're trying to build momentum for their collection. They also got a balloon in Macy Day's Thanksgiving Parade. That's tomorrow. Check it out for the Cool Cat. The animated short received over 200K impressions on Twitter. Meanwhile, they're just shy of a 0.9 ETH floor. Last but not least, Jack Butcher has 2 drops going live today in partnership with Velocity Pass. The first is a 24-minute open edition that went live at 9 a.m. Eastern. Available for 0.069. The second 200-piece generative collection that will be minted via a holders-only Dutch auction. Both collections are highly anticipated, with many Jack Butcher super fans looking to capitalize on the new opportunities. That's it. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Cakes.
Hey, thanks, Clemente. I'll take it from here.
Real quick, so I wanted to note this and flag that basically there's 7 minutes left in this Jack Butcher drop. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to be looking at it, checking it out. Let us know if you're minting it. Is for a 0.069 mint price. People were calling this, the Jack Butcher Maxis were calling this the next Chromie Squiggle. So
anyone can go and mint it right now?
Yeah, it's a public mint.
Where?
I think it's on Bybit.
It's on Bybit. There's a link on. You gotta go to his page.
Got it.
What the hell,
Nick? There's 7 minutes left to do this. It's a 24-minute mint. Yeah, Nick's getting stressed out over there in Yugoslavia, but
why are y'all saying Yugoslavia? What?
It's sold out. It's sold out. It's sold out. Nick, don't stress. It's already sold out.
Wait, I thought it was an open edition.
No, 10,064, 69 or something like that.
Oh shit! So I just have been false.
Clemente just butchered the hell out of this, and you didn't get one.
I didn't get.
You're an idiot, Clemente.
I just kicked my 2-year-old daughter off the computer to go mint it.
Why is your 2-year-old daughter on the computer?
She's watching YouTube.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Nick, do you want to handle the stories from the Nifty Daily Digest?
Yeah, I'll take care of this, Clemente. Is my audio okay, though?
You sound phenomenal.
Dude, you sound so good. I'm just shocked the Eastern European Wi-Fi is holding up as well as it is.
Okay, so the Daily Digest, it's posted to X every morning and pinned up top and emailed to anyone that subscribes at thenifty.com. Get on thenifty.com. That domain may switch in the near future, actually.
Oh.
Mochaverse announces partnership with Ubisoft. Do you say Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
It's fine.
Yeah.
To support their Web3 initiatives. Least favorite response ever goes to Easy. Tensorians saw 40% plus pump to 27 Sol. Wow. What the hell? What happened there?
Yeah, Easy.
Ansem tweeted about it. That's literally what it was. The individual Black Noise on Twitter posted a chart and said, would you buy this chart? Everyone said it looks crazy bullish. He then compared it to Blur, said this is basically Blur without a token. He said it's Mad Lad's little brother was like the verbiage that he used. Sent it to 32 Sol before a slight retrace here. So yeah, they absolutely cooked. And they were sitting at like 16, 17. I mean, dude, we talked to this team at the Klano event in depth. And yet we didn't buy. We're idiots. I don't know. We're idiots.
Dude, I've been looking at this thing being like, Tensorians just keep staying near the top. And like, why wouldn't I grab one of these? Well, I'm gonna go die here in Yugoslavia. Claynosaurs have sold 1,603 plushies in first limited edition drop. Artifact Dunk Wars map now available on Fortnite. Kampai Pandas teases Overdog's Bet coming Q1 2024. What is Overdog's Bet?
It's related to their podcast. I'm assuming it's some sort of
a betting platform for their podcast that they'll be rolling out.
That seems like a useful sentence that could have been added to the description that I just read here, Clemente. Just a quick heads up when you write those sentences, maybe actually add some information so the reader knows what the hell you're talking about. Drip House CEO teased an L2 built for creators. What? They're dropping an L2?
So I don't know if this was a joke or not, to be honest. That was the thing I was trying to figure out, was if he was kidding or not.
It's got to be a joke.
Yeah.
That's a joke. I'm looking at this. It says incentives substantial.
Which was what Blast put. Blast L2 said incentives substantial when they compared it to the other L2s. I think they compared it to like Optimism and Arbitrum, and they were like substantial. That's just one word.
This is, dude. Well, I haven't jumped on Blast yet, and I'm pissed off, but I'm going to.
Well, you're fine.
Um,
Nick, I gave you the game plan for it. You buy more Blur the day of season 2. You dump it into the Blur farming, and you send over a couple ETH to Blast, and you just forget about it till February, and then you reap the rewards.
I mean, I can still do that.
Yeah, you can.
Well, we'll talk about that in just a second.
At NFT on Instagram posts for the first time since February 2022, with the account previously promoting several rug pulls. Thanks for that update, Clemente. A lot of people really interested in that piece of info. I like the who posted the photo? Was it you, Kix, or someone? Someone posted the picture. You did?
The thickest on the blockchain one?
CZ as a woman.
Oh, that was Bunny. Bunny posted
That was Bunny. That was really good. Bunny, great job.
Nick, did you see Easy's tweet about he was calling you the thickest man on the blockchain yesterday? We'll touch on this real quick.
I didn't call him that. That's just what I heard. That's what that guy said. I forget what this guy's name is, but I'm just saying. I hope we don't go 3 of 3 here, because he's been 2 of 2 with CZ and SBF.
It is a little concerning.
Real quick, thanks, Nick, for reading those stories in the digest. Before we dive in, Kix, did you see that creator Fortnite map by Artifact? Is that a nothing burger to you? I'm curious what goes into making that and what the benefits would be for Artifact.
Yeah, I mean, I'm generally bearish. I was just on Easy Show earlier. I'm generally bearish on Fortnite maps. I think it's like, just someone creating an Etsy store. It's like, easy to get something up and running, but it's a lot of work if you're actually trying to follow through and make it something big and significant. It kind of reminds me of back like a year and a half ago when all these projects were like, we're building metaverses, right? And now it's like, okay, we're all building Fortnite maps. I think it's potentially, once again, I'm not trying to paint over everybody. I'm sure some people are doing legitimate things with it, but like broad stroke, I think it's something for people to do when they don't know what they're doing.
Got it. That's good to know. I appreciate the context.
Many people think that Artifact has no clue what they're doing,
Hey, yo. Zinger. Zinger from Yugoslavia. Nick, real quick, I want to touch on the CZ story for just one more second. Easy, is there anything you want to add to what went down yesterday? Anything else stick out to you that we didn't cover earlier on in the show?
Nope, Clemente, you did a great job. Much better than Nick gives you credit for. So well done, Chief.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. The only other thing that I was curious about is when on CZ's tweet, I saw like a lot of people, the main message from the comments that I was seeing from a lot of people was just like treating this guy like LeBron James going into retirement. I don't like, everyone was like, oh, congratulations on doing such a good job running Binance. You're an incredible CEO. Didn't this guy just plead guilty to money laundering? I don't understand what I'm missing.
Yeah, but it's not like the SBF situation. Like SBF was commingling customer funds. This guy was just letting terrorist organizations use his platform. Like
aren't we all doing a little money laundering? You know what I'm saying?
No. We're not. No,
okay.
No.
Yeah, I think the most interesting part to me is that, how much of this heat did he get because, he kind of allegedly started the bank run on FTX. You know what I mean? Sort of like a, full circle thing. But I think a lot of people look at CZ favorably, and this may just be the end of one chapter and the start of the next chapter in his life. So,
well, he said he's going to start investing heavily in DeFi. He was like, I'm going to start investing in DeFi in my spare time. Like, he's not banned from using crypto or anything. Like, good luck doing that. So he's basically just not allowed to. He still owns Binance. Like, that's the thing. He's still the owner of Binance.
Isn't he worth like $15 billion or something?
Yeah, dude. He didn't have to pay 4.2. Binance did. Like, dude, he's fine. He's going to be totally fine. He's not going to see jail. He'll be on house arrest. He'll be living it up in Miami like the rest of the Nifty gang. It's going to be great. The guy's just going on a nice staycation. He
made out like a bandit then. Is he in the United States right now?
He was actually he was your neighbor yesterday. He was in a Seattle courtroom to face charges yesterday, and that's where he paid his bond. in Seattle. I don't know why you didn't go on site, Clemente. You really fumbled. Like
God
you had one
damn
job,
it.
dude. He was in Seattle yesterday. That's where he appeared in court for the trial. That's where he faced charges. That's where he paid bond in Seattle.
Holy shit. I might have to go pay him a visit today.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little
Nick.
too late for that, Clemente, because the news happened yesterday. What the hell?
Nick, who's calling, dude?
It's a landline
Who's
call
calling?
from Yugoslavia. It's not weird if you've been there before. Very
They don't
scary.
have cell phones out there.
Probably his landlord.
It's a call from the government. They heard him
His
speaking.
landlord.
Probably the pierogi DoorDash he called.
Yeah, what time is it in Yugoslavia? It's got to be like 4 p.m. Like, dude's getting ready for lunch.
Oh, it's pierogi time.
Yeah, dude, he's eating well.
All right. Well, that's all we needed to talk about in terms of the Binance piece. It is interesting. I'm curious what he does next, how long he takes a little bit of a break for. I want to get into all things Blast because this is really interesting to me. There's a few different angles to take here, but Kicks, you messaged me yesterday. You said that you're making a high conviction play with Blast. And for a little bit of context,
You're muted, Easy.
Your boy's up 7K, Clemente. It feels good. It feels good. We're living well.
hey, I'm talking to Kicks right now, dude.
I'm just saying.
Freaking
I'm just
20%
saying.
on the Solana bag you told me to buy. Anyways,
Whoa.
we'll talk about this later. Kicks, real quick. So, for a little bit of context, everyone, Blast is the L2 that was announced on Monday, in addition to the Blur airdrop claiming and the TVL. From what I last saw, I saw a Tyler D tweeting about it. It reached 100 million in TVL in literally 36 hours and over 20,000 users, which are crazy numbers. I'm getting DMs. Our Bodago's Discord is basically just people shilling their Blast invite codes. I'm a little confused by the whole thing, Kicks, but I'll let you take it from here and explain your thought process on how you want to play this for the next few months.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is one of those classic crypto inverse the middle curvers opportunity where first of all, a lot of people just for whatever reason dislike Blur, right? Like they just have a negative connotation and so they automatically dislike Blast. And I think a lot of people also just like didn't fully understand what they're trying to do or what they're providing. So essentially what Blast is doing, if you think about any L2 on Ethereum, right? To get your money to that L2, you're essentially sending your L1 money to like a multi-sig wallet, right? That's like the bridge. And then they put that money, that equivalent of ETH or USDC in the L2, right? But that money is now sitting in a multi-sig wallet on L1, right? So let's say $1 billion gets sent to an L2, right? That's just $1 billion of ETH just sitting there. And what Pac-Man is saying is that whenever you're just holding ETH anywhere and it's not staked, even if your ETH is going up, you're losing 3 to 4% return versus people who are staking ETH. So his idea is with Blast, why don't we just stake all of that ETH that is locked, that is bridged, right? And create a native yield for the entire L2. Now, a lot of people are misunderstanding this and they're saying, oh, well, why don't I just stake my ETH myself instead of putting it into the L2? No, the difference is my understanding is that you're putting that money into the L2. The protocol is earning that native 3 to 4% yield. And then you can do things with your ETH on the L2, right? And the activity is like activity on that L2 is what's going to be earning that yield. So that alone is very novel, right? So now essentially, if you're on this L2, you're not getting debased by 3 to 4% a year. And you're able to do all sorts of things. You're able to buy NFTs. You're able to put it into DeFi. You're able to put it into their lending protocol. All of these different things, which is a novel concept.
In terms of how that gets paid out, my understanding is that paid daily.
So the example that he said is that you have like 10 ETH and it's just sitting on the L2, right? And like that 10 ETH every day, you're like seeing a decimal go up, right? You're getting that native yield. But also this concept has the potential where you don't even have to attach it to the ETH on the L2. You could actually just attach it to the activity on the platform. But regardless, this is a pretty novel concept. It's an innovative concept. People are fudding it. There's risk associated with it for sure. Just like there's risks with staking ETH and fucking it up or being on another L2. What do you want to say, Nick?
well, there's a couple of things here. One is when you stake ETH, how long do you have to keep it in there to earn rewards, and how does that yield?
Well, there's a queuing system if you do it yourself, but there's like synthetic versions of this, like called STETH, like STETH,
Yeah,
and that is liquid. So that you don't have a lockup to get in and out. So that's what Blast is using. If you look at Blast multi-sig wallet, it's all STETH right now.
So they're using like LidoFi style approach. That we're all believers in STETH, I guess. In terms of the other thing is, the thing I was wondering was like, let's say I transfer you 5 ETH and it's middle of the day. Is it just wherever the ETH is at the end of the day is who gets the yield?
Yeah, it depends on like how fast the accrual is, you know, and everything like that. They haven't gone that deep into the specifics, but that's part one, right? So that part one is innovative in and of itself, in the sense, now there's risks associated with it, sure, and you can talk about all the risks, but you can't just say that's like a dumb idea. That's actually like an innovative, interesting idea for an L2 to come with. The second end of the equation, the gas revenue that the L2 generates, which can be substantial. If I'm not mistaken, I think Coinbase's base is making them millions of dollars a year in fees. They're going to 100% of those fees, they're going to reward back to app builders. And then a lot of people go, oh, well, that's dumb because then people are going to make gas inefficient contracts, right? He never said that they're going to reward based on how much gas the app uses. It could be based on the amount of users. It could be based on the amount of volume. It could be based on so many other things other than inefficient gas contracts, right? Like people just take these things and then they like frame it in one specific way and then say it doesn't make sense or it's stupid. The reality is that even though we're in crypto and a lot of people want to think, humans are just resistant to new ideas. And this is why this is a perfect inverse middle curve opportunity, because the guy that came in and completely dominated the NFT marketplace market in a period of months is now making an L2, and everybody's like, we're going to fade this. And there's multiple ways to play it. Easy's been playing it great. He said he's up 7K. There's 2 ways to play it. One is you can send money in right now to their bridge, or essentially their multi-sig wallet, and right away your ETH is going to be earning yield. So if you throw 10 ETH in there from now until February, it'll be earning that 3 to 4% annual yield. On top of that, you're earning like blast points, which will likely be an airdrop that you'll get. So essentially what you can say is, yes, my risk level is elevated due to issues, but like honestly, just a multi-sig wallet is pretty hard to fuck up. It's when you automate it into a bridge where you see lots of the hacks, right? You can basically say, I have some ETH sitting around doing nothing anyways. I can throw it into here, earn some yield. And then on top of that, I'm going to get airdrop into Blast, right? So that's one way to play it. The other way to play it is you can stake Blur. This is what I did. So I'm staking Blur and you're earning like points. And the points are based on how long you hold. And then you get a multiplier based on how long you hold. And if you pull out, your multiplier freezes. But you can do the whole bridge strategy. That's much lower risk because if you're going to hold the ETH anyways, there's still risk on top of just holding ETH. Everyone should understand that, but that's more of a straightforward play. The Blur play is a little bit maybe more riskier, and you have to hold it longer to kind of get the max results. So the bridge you got to hold till like February is my understanding. If you do the Blur token strategy, you got to hold it probably until May. So that's what I did. I threw in some money. I said I'll hold it till May. I'm basically farming the Blast L2 airdrop. And yeah, Blur's up a good percentage from yesterday. I think Easy bought the bottom, so he's up like 50%. Plus, he's farming for the Blast airdrop. But anyways, yeah, it's an innovative thing. Okay, and then if you want to go deeper in the conversation, the thing with L2s is L2s can kind of commoditize what other L2s are offering. So what you'll likely see is one or two things from other L2s. Either they'll look at how to offer these kind of things, or they'll probably say, we're not offering it because your risk level is elevated, and they'll explain why your risk level is elevated by doing this. But regardless, this is more innovative than just, hey, we're launching another L2, and there's a lot of L2s. Like this is actually like we're launching an L2 and doing things that no L2 has done before. And they're doing the classic Blur strategy, which is essentially, we're going to make no money. It's the Amazon strategy. We're going to make no money, and we're going to use that to capture market share. That's what they did with Blur. We're going to make no money. We're going to use it to capture market share. On the L2, they're going to say, hey, we're going to give you all of the yield we make off of the bridge to money. And then on top of that, all of the gas revenue we make, we're going to distribute to everyone. So they're doing the same Amazon strategy. We're going to make no money, but we're going to try to capture a ton of market share, make money down the road. So definitely not
in terms of
this one.
In terms of market share, I wonder, like, when you say, like, what audience is the group that's doing it? I do think there's a slightly larger audience that's going to, like, buy the token, for example, and or a bridge to the L2. That's way easier. I don't understand how that market share, like, what they end up doing with that that's actually beneficial. But I do like the approach, and your explanation of it is solid. I'm going to switch rooms real quick. I'll be right back.
You got it, Coach.
Well, we lost Nick for a bit. Eddie, welcome up on stage. Thanks for coming up. I saw you dropped a very informative and long thread on your strategy and kind of how you're approaching Blast. Anything to chime in here with?
Hey, good morning, guys. Also, amazing space. It didn't need PO at all, I guess. No, I'm kidding. No, so a couple of things. One, first things first on the mid-curve thing. This is 100% one of the classic mid-curves. Like anyone who's fudding the hell out of this is actually a remarkably innovative idea. I would not be shocked if out of opportunity cost alone, this does a really good job of, I mean, Blur basically vampire attacked the hell out of OpenSea by reducing royalty fees to 0 instantly. And I would not be shocked if this does kind of a similar job of vampiring attacking the hell out of basically all other L2s by saying, we're going to take the classic business model and just not doing it. So that's one. So good pick up there. And again, we'll say this is a mid curve for anyone that's not taking advantage of it. As for like strategies and whatnot, couple things. One on Blast and depositing to Blast. It is a fairly low risk play. I mean, outside of assuming, I'm assuming competence on the part of Paradigm and Blur, just to be clear. So that is assuming a certain level of execution risk that I don't think that they will fail, obviously. So that's one thing. But as for like strategies and whatnot, with the Blur token and with Blur farming, I was talking with a couple of the other traders and people that are focusing pretty heavily on this. And it feels like the overall sentiment is that the higher expected value per dollar, like the higher amount of points that you get back on Blast per dollar that you spend farming, whatever that is, will be on Blur and the Blur token, because there's just Blur. How do I say this? Blast, people are going to be putting money in indefinitely, and it's probably going to get to around 250 to 350 plus $1 million. Whereas on Blur, that risk that people are taking on by having a price exposure to this Blur token is high enough that it will probably limit the number of people involved in it. And depending on how they weight things, it would not be shocking to see, $1 put into Blur, both in farming and staking the token directly, will result in vastly more Blast tokens than $1 put into the Blast bridge itself. So that's something to consider. And just if you're doing it, there are ways to actually mitigate that risk. Just to be clear, I'm not a professional trader. I'm not going on a lot of these CEXs and trading on leverage for 20% gains. But people who know what they're doing, and this is something that I'm probably going to spend some time trying to figure out, because it is an excellent strategy, is what's called a delta neutral strategy. I know that Nick has talked about this on the space before, particularly with regard to ape staking. Basically, by staking, you're taking a long position. And if you take an equivalent short position outside of funding rates, you have effectively no exposure to the token, but you have all the exposure to whatever the staking rewards are. And that's like basically free raking in that staking reward. So exploring delta neutral strategies in terms of shorting the token itself, or when it comes to Blur farming, using Wasabi and other like Dive and other shorting protocols to look to short the NFTs that you're actively bidding on. That's an option. Though we'll know, at least specifically for Blur farming in terms of bidding on NFTs, right now most of the Blur farmers that I've spoken to are not currently shorting those NFT collections that they're bidding on because the spreads are not big enough for that to really be helpful. But these are just things like to keep in mind over the next, I want to say 3-4 months as options to get your risk when you're farming for the token.
Eddie,
So-
I'm confused as fuck, dude.
Well, hold on. Easy. Let me explain delta neutral to you. I'm actually
that
more.
new, airline program.
I'm more of a big beta type of person.
Standing
You know,
room
that's
on
what.
Delta neutral.
No, the thing that I was going to say is, so a lot of these strategies theoretically work, and frankly, the big brains did seem to make money on the Blur drop. By the way, like all those people that I would have been. I don't even know that I was fading, but I just didn't like. I didn't want to participate in that specific investment strategy. Really, the main thing in my mind is this. It seems really for the bull run, the primary strategy you're trying to work with typically is the majority of your portfolio is sitting in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and let's throw AVAX in there. Okay, so we have like those tokens that you're in. And then separately, you may want to participate in some NFTs because you want exposure there. DeFi is another category, which feel free to go operate in. But the main thing here is your tokens that you're holding are at risk of being devalued as other people are staking against them, basically, which is what Kix was saying about if you're just holding ETH. Yeah. So you should be making a decision to go stake it somewhere. Same with Solana. In theory, now every staking position comes with it associated risk. STETH could become depegged from ETH. You have a chain, in many cases, a bridge that could be hacked, which is a very common thing to happen. Kix is saying, okay, well, the multi-sig wallet is less risky. In fact, it's one of the least risky situations you can have because it's very hard to hack those unless someone, you could even have one person's seed phrase, exposed, and it doesn't make a difference because you need multiple signatures. So that's why obviously it's more secure. But really, I think for the average person, what we should be thinking about is what is our staking approach? What you mentioned in this case is Blur, and potentially. So I don't understand. There's a little bit of gap of information on my side where I don't fundamentally understand what do I do with the Blur token after I buy it. I stake that on the bridge. Like what?
Yeah. So you go to blur.hold.foundation, and they gamified in their typical way where like the first 5 days you're getting like big point multipliers to create a sense of urgency to stake it. And so basically you have points, right? And you're earning that every day. And then you get a multiplier on your final amount based on how long you hold. And I think it goes up by like 0.5x every month. So basically like you're farming points every day. If you hold all the way till May, you'll get like a 5x multiplier on top of the total points that you accrued. So that's one way to do it, right? So that's actually like buying or using the Blur that you have and staking it on blur.hold.foundation. The alternative is you can just farm NFTs on Blur, and like this earning time, instead of you earning Blur, you're earning Blast, right? So basically you don't even have to worry about, if you just say I'm a good NFT trader, I can trade a lot of volume in NFTs. I understand the Blur playbook. You don't even have to buy Blur and like deal with that level of risk. You can just farm NFTs on Blur, and you're going to get half of the overall Blur allocation. So whatever the Blur allocation is, half is going to farmers, half is going to this Blur staking program.
Which is, to me, the main thing is once they've convinced me to migrate my ETH to some other token, there's inherently a lot more risk. In Easy's case, this is part of his trading portfolio, whatever you want to call it. And that's one of the opportunities that exist right now is this specific trade here, which is just a higher risk activity. And in my mind, the question is like, how hands-on do you have to be? And it sounds like in the case of Easy, for example, he bought the token, staked it. You're just holding till February, right, Easy?
Honestly, that's the tough part. I may actually I think the token continues to run higher. So for me, I'm like, maybe I sell half this bag on the 26th when the multiplier stops and ride the rest for free. So I'd have literally zero risk, still earn points, and now my blur airdrop on the holder points, which is 50% of the allocation pool for quote redacted rewards, is zero risk. Like even if they give me $1, I'm in profit. So I'm looking at it more from like the blur token's going to continue to rise because there's less sell pressure due to season 3 not having blur rewards and people staking it for this blur to earn thing.
Which, by the way, one of the better strategies, if you have multiple wallets that qualify for a blur airdrop of any sort, even if it was literally a single penny of blur, is make sure that you claim that blur immediately. I understand that the gas would be more expensive than the blur itself. I get it. But the reason why is you want to open up as many pools as possible within which you're getting serious multipliers, so that you could do things like have one pool where you're going to be staked and just sitting in until Blast comes out, which I have one pool that's just staked and that's it. I'm not going to be removing because I want that Blast token there. But another pool where I've put in a certain amount of Blast tokens that I'm pretty not Blast, blur tokens, which I want those points for now, but I'm also long the token. And if it gets to a point where I want to trade it and want to sell it, I'm not hurting my main pool that's staking and their multiplier by withdrawing, so I could trade that. So you want to like split up your blur bag into what you want to trade and what you want to stake until the unlock itself.
Yeah, like me personally, Nick, I put 5 ETH. I bought 5 ETH worth of blur yesterday and I staked it, and I'm just holding that all the way until May. Basically, I'm like, I'm assuming that with my 5 ETH bet, I'll get at least 10K, if not more, out of the Blast airdrop that happens in May. And then it also value after that either. But that's my bet. I'm just going to hold all the way till May, because the longer you hold, the more points you accrue, and then the higher multiplier you get.
Sorry, you converted the 5 ETH into blur?
In a blur, and then went to blur.hold.foundation and staked it all. I'm just gonna hold it for what's that, 6 months? Hold it for 6 months, put some ranch on that, call it a meal when it comes out the other side.
Comes out the other side. And speaking of blur, I haven't even been able to claim my airdrop yet, dude. I've watched, still when I press it, it says I can't get it to
Clemente, your bag's just going up.
Literally, I was
You just made money not claiming it. Like, this is a blessing in disguise. But unlike you, I just spent some money. I just bought 2 of these Jack Butcher things.
Whoa! So quick update.
It's a good move.
Easy is referring to Trademark by Jack Butcher, which just minted out. It is a 6,700 collection right now. I'm assuming there's some that's going to be
indexing. It's still indexing. It'll be over 10K. So it literally just minted out because it's part of AOI or whatever it is. It's like that Snowfro 3 checks thing and a couple other projects. Like it's not Art Blocks obviously, but it's what many people are comparing it to. It's like an Art Blocks competitor, AOI Engine. They have a couple collections in there. I don't know. I think they look cool. A lot of people talking about him, a lot of people excited about him. His signature collection, which is a 188, is only at 1.8 ETH. So maybe we get this up to like a 0.3 area and I quickly dump it, but we'll see. If enough people in the conversation saying this thing's gonna have some legs, I'll take a flyer on it here.
So you bought it. So it's right now it's sitting at a 0.15 ETH floor for anyone listening.
Exactly
Nick,
where I got in.
See you thinking? Are you thinking of taking a swing at Trademark by Jack Butcher?
Man, I have a different theory this time in the market, this bull run, which is I don't want to overtrade. I spent a lot of time trading last bull run, and that's where I got wrecked effectively. It's like, what am I chasing on my 0.15 ETH? I'm trying to make 0.1 or something like that. I'm end up paying some gas on this thing. I'm good. The fact that I'm fading it probably means that this thing's going to run to 0.5 or something like that. But like, my goal at this point is figuring out how can I get more money into Solana, AVAX, ETH, and Bitcoin is the primary thing. And then I do like some of these other trades. The blur one seems pretty interesting.
The biggest no-brainer, Nick, I'm telling you. There's no more sell pressure from retail on blur. None. The season 3 has no blur rewards. It's redacted. So for me, I'm like, blur's going back to 60 cents. Like, that's what I'm looking at the chart. I'm looking at the price action. No more retail sell pressure. When they were dumping, I was like, what? After I looked through the thing, I was like, why would I not buy this I have 1 million points already. Like, my bag is huge for season 3, and it's been 2 days.
So do you think I should just take all like a portion of my ETH basically and move that to my wallet, swap it to Blur, and stake that?
I genuinely think the rewards from Blur staking, because there's no lock till February, so say Blur has some volatile chop, goes back and forth, you can still get that money back into ETH, for example. But my thesis is I think crypto in general right now has ran really, really hot. Like Sol was up to 60, ETH broke
Yeah.
above 2K, Bitcoin was at like 35 or whatever it was. So my bet is like I think ETH goes lower, and Blur will either sit where it is now or continue to trend higher due to lack of sell pressure and these Ponzi-nomics that are going on. So I feel better to have exposure to Blur than ETH here. Plain and simple, just because of what's going on with it. And this L2 seems really interesting to me. They did have some verbiage that scared me a little bit, like a rebased stablecoin, which is what Terra Luna was. And I'm like, like Luna was arguably my best short of all time. And watching this, I'm like, maybe we get a second chance at doing another short if this thing turns into a dumpster fire. But they
what you
seem to
got to
have.
say about Luna is it went up like a 100x before it was a good
Oh,
shot.
dude, that thing gigacent, like gigacent. It was like if you were early, you printed, and if you were really late, you printed. As long as you were short, you could have swung both sides. But I think Blur's way more interesting here from like a bet that you can place and forget about it. Because even if Blur drops back to 30 cents, you're farming a ton of points. But I would say you have to do it as soon as possible because of the multipliers right now. Like you're getting significantly more points right now. And it's every day it cuts in half until the 26th, and then they go back up monthly by 0.5.
And
So
did they
it's like,
say rebasing stablecoin or just rebasing coin?
I thought it was a stable coin, but I'll double check.
Oh.
Regardless, I don't like the rebase situation.
But are they rebasing because of the yield that the protocol is getting? That
I think so. Yeah, so I do have to look a little bit more into that. But in general, dude, we've seen how rebasing plays out long enough. Like it's got a lot of potential risk to it, regardless if it's a stable coin or the underlying crypto. So, but it's just being early to a Ponzi is what it is. Like plain and simple. When you have a pyramid in front of you, you want to be at the top, not the bottom.
Absolutely. Like Ebrink said, you can't fade a good Ponzi in the early days. So I'm thinking of just like Pio said, who's listening, just plowing some money into Blast and milking these rewards. Real quick.
Do I need to like if I wait until after the show? You think that's a
You're
problem?
fine. No, you're fine because Blur. It's. I think it's like midnight Pacific time that the rewards cut in half. So right now you're only on the second day. So right now I think it's 3 Blur for you get 3 points per Blur. Right now, tomorrow I think it's 2 and then 1 or something like that. It goes down 9.5 every day. Let me actually check, but I think you're fine till after the show. You're not gonna miss out on a ton, to be honest. Yeah, today's the 22nd, so it's 3 per. Tomorrow's 2.5, then 2, 1.5, 1. So you're fine. Like, and you're not even that far off from the start. It was 4 points the first day, but the bigger thing is getting your multiplier up because that one's fixed for all your Blur points. So like, I just think right now, just dumping Blur into this and letting it work feels good. I mean, you're buying a 25% green candle, which is a concern.
You know, it happens. It happens.
And Nick, I told Killer P to buy Blur yesterday, and I told him to text you because I don't have your number on my new iPhone.
He did text me. You have an iPhone?
Yo,
time, bro.
Is it the same number as before or no?
Yeah, same numbers. Shoot me a text, bro, so I can add you.
There you go.
He did text you that, right? So that the message was relayed?
He did text me, but I was flying to I flew down here to Yugoslavia and then
I feel that.
And so yeah, I mean, dude, it was a harrowing adventure.
I'm glad you're safe.
Real quick, want to take a quick moment to remind everyone we're giving away a whole bunch of stuff today. Check out the second pinned tweet up top. We're partnering with Shrapnel for a giveaway today. We're giving away a bunch of medium extraction packs. The only way, the best way, and the easiest way to enter is just like the tweet and comment a screenshot of your extraction pack, which we've been talking about for the last month and a half or so. If you haven't bought one, you can go to thenifty.com/shrapnel and use promo code NIFTY for 30% off. We're going to be choosing those people today and giving away those packs. We'll give you a code. And if you want, you can redeem it yourself. They're worth $50 on the Shrapnel Marketplace, or you can give it away to your friend if you're in a giving mood. Bunny, are you getting involved in Blast at all? Or are you sticking to your primary strength, which is meme coins? As someone,
I'm in America, dude. I gotta fly somewhere to claim this stuff. I don't know. I'm checking some flights. Dude, I'm so mad I didn't buy this Jack Butcher thing at 0.13. I was staring at it. Oh my god, I'm sick to my stomach right now.
I
If you bought
mean,
it on Blur, you could have farmed some points.
Bunny, it's only up
Exactly.
0.03 ETH. Well, actually, it's starting to run here. It's at
boy's
0.1.
Now- fucking-
Now you put it on the show. Now watch the spinny start, dude. It's made 0.2. We've seen this story before.
So Bunny, are you buying here at 0.17 ETH or no?
I don't want to buy here. Easy. What's the full size?
10,069.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait until we get a full supply here and hope for a dip.
What's the play here? Is this just like with that little squiggly looking picture? Is that it? Is all you get?
It's his first generative project, I think, right?
Yeah, first generative.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean,
Damn.
He's a
It's a poor man squiggle.
yeah, he's a rising character, man.
And I'm only saying that because I hold it. If I didn't hold it, I'd say this is dumb.
It wouldn't be crazy to think Jack Butcher.
God damn! I got,
keeps
dude. I
crushing
keep.
his career. It goes to 1E. You know.
Nick, what's going on, Nick? You look stressed. Your face is red. You look disheveled.
I end up having to part with my ETH. It's just like a regular freaking thing here, dude.
But I just think there's better trades than ETH, dude. Like I always look at potential upside to all-time high. ETH is a 2x. Sick. Like, dude, go trade equities. You'll get a 2x. Go sit in the sauna with kicks. You'll find a 6x.
Casper.
Buy some Solana. You'll find an 8x. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I look at it. To me, I have such limited ETH exposure, and my ETH bag is purely used to get more Solana. That is it. That is the only thing I'm doing with it.
Here's the nice thing too, Nick, with the Blur play, right? Is that if ETH pumps, all L2s pump. Probably highly correlated. So
yep.
At least that you're like still kind of like correlated to ETH.
One quick note, I wanted to throw it. On Blast is the last thing I want to say on Blast is that the TVL. So
I bought one of them.
Boom.
Jack Butchers.
Yeah.
You should buy one more. Remember, you bought 2 Bored Apes because like selling one if you only have one is a real tough thing. So get another one while you're at it.
If you're using Blur, you can get in literally like right around where I was. They're 0.156. Just make sure you're not buying. Make sure you're not buying Echo of Intensity because they're in the same collection. You have to buy the one that's like number 4,000,7648. There's no name. Imagine explaining this to somebody. Like, yeah, no, you don't buy the one in the listing at the very top that's way cheaper. You actually scroll down to the one that's just a number and no picture and just hope it's sick. Like, you just really, fingers crossed you get something that looks cool, and then you have to actually go to the picture, refresh the metadata, and hope it updates, and you got something cool. But don't worry, there's also a $50 fee.
I'm just holding on to it at this point. I mean, I just spent this wallet. This was like my spare change in the wallet, basically. I'm just going to hold on to it, see what happens.
I like it, Nick. I think it's a good play, honestly. I'm a big fan of Jack Butcher. And this one's a real simpler narrative. It's his first generative art project. Hold it. Sell it if you want sometime down the road. It's not like O'Peppin, which I still like, but you know, there's a lot of moving parts to O'Peppin, right? You're like, oh, do I got to go bid on this one, or I like this one? Like, this one's straightforward. It's like, you know,
his first generative piece, dude, and Jack Butcher, you know, is comparable with like Michelangelo.
Yeah, imagine that on right above your red couch. Right up there, right where that thing is. And I'm so curious about that thing. I think you see a Coca-Cola logo and it says Mission. That's all I know.
It says it's sun-kissed grapes.
It kind of reminded me of Oregon Trail for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. An Eastern European Oregon Trail. Real quick. So here's what I was concerned about. I couldn't sleep last night.
Oh,
because
no.
I saw $100 million in TVL for Blast. Where the hell is this money coming from? A, and B, are ETH NFTs just absolutely torpedoed until February? Where is this? Is this just locked liquidity that we're never going to see again? Easy. Go ahead.
Because people are going to want to farm the ETH NFTs for the airdrop.
Yep.
They're smart.
I think you're overthinking this, dude. You're overthinking this way too much. There's still listing and bid points, but it's all for quote redacted, which isn't going to be Blur. So I think ETH NFTs are going to be fine. And honestly, I think Blast is going to be used way more for NFT perpetuals, like leverage trading NFTs, versus like NFT trading. I think there's going to be some interesting stuff on how they actually manage this. Maybe they solve gas issues and Blur only uses Blast behind the scenes and really streamlines a lot of it. I'm very excited for it, to be honest. I think if anything, that liquidity right now, isn't a bad thing that it's out of the ecosystem. It just shows how much sidelined capital there was, to be brutally honest. Like, that money wasn't being used to buy apes. It wasn't being used to buy punks. A lot of that money
It's
too
definitely not
was,
it.
yeah, I mean, Jesus. A lot of that money too, in my opinion, was like, how much of that is Blur? You know what I mean? Like, how many rewards just went right back into it? How many people took half the Blur, put it into Blast, and the other half and let it stake? How
Or
many
it's like
people
a
took
Blur loan. It's all
Exactly.
like leveraged NFT sitting in there. But no, easy spot on, Clemente. And here's the thing also is that if you think about Blur has been around for like exactly a year, right? And they've had the Blur bid contract pool, which has had upwards of $100 million in it. And for an entire year, it hasn't been hacked. That's a pretty decent testament to like their security, because it's not like they copy pasted that contract. That's like a novel contract, the whole like bidding, whatever. And that had 100 million TVL. And this isn't even a bridge, remember? Like, you can get this out the day the bridge goes live if you want to. This is really you're sending money into a Pac-Man controlled multi-sig wallet and earning free yield plus an airdrop. So, you know, like there's definitely a risk, but you know, don't eat your whole ETH bag in there. But you know, you can throw a couple of shekels in there, farm a free airdrop. Why not, mate?
Don't eat it, you know.
block.
Wow. Well, the real question is, what is going to be the fourth Ponzi or product that the Pac-Man drops? If you can guess the name of it, we can go with Blunt, we can go with Blood, we can go with Bland. Let us know in the comments if you guess the name of this. I'm going to save this space. If you guess in the comments, I'm going to give you one of my own personal Nifty portals if you guess the name of Pac-Man's next BL worded product. Very
I got a good one.
Bloop.
Should I say it?
Yeah, say it.
And it's not my own ingenuity. I just Googled words that start with blah. Blitz. For their
Blitz
gaming,
is really good,
platform.
dude.
Their gaming platform.
Yeah, I was gonna say
platform.
Blink.
Yeah.
Blink is gonna be their Solana competitor, instant and gasless.
Ooh.
Like that?
Nick,
They're just gonna build a Solana competitor in a couple weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Mine would be Bleed, because that's what Blur has done to my NFT portfolio. It's just Bleed. Speaking of bleeding, I wanted to wrap up with this. Easy. What the hell is going on with Solana, dude? I'm straight up getting juiced out here, dude. I'm getting freaking toasted, bro.
You're in fade yourself territory, man.
New target $40.
No, 46. 46.
Okay, so I just need a DC. Like I've been DCing slowly, but I mean, it's definitely not the greatest feeling in the world when I buy this thing at $55 and I just see price go down. I bought some at 60, dude. I threw some ETH, but at 60. What the hell is going on, dude?
You're supporting market liquidity, man. It's not all for naught. I mean, it's sitting at 55. It's fine, but yeah, man, it's up there, dude. I mean, what is it?
When in doubt, zoom out. That's all I'm gonna say. When in doubt, zoom out. All-time highs of 5x from here. If you're actively, dude, if you need that money for New York City rent because you refuse to move to Miami, that's on you. That's on you. But I'm saying just DCA. Like, okay. I'm still buying every single day. I buy Solana every single day.
Here's the thing.
I get my Coinbase Pro alert. It says you spent your money on Solana. It gives me a little thumbs up emote. I'm like, thanks, dude. That means a lot.
You're buying the 7th largest crypto coin in the world. You're a young guy, man. You got youth in your face. You need to be going a little bit higher on the risk curve. Okay. You need to be like,
now we're
like outside of the top 100. Even Blur just broke top 100. Okay. You know, you need to be looking in the 250, 500 range, getting them real gains.
Okay. Did you sell your other crypto as the price went down?
No. I haven't. If anything, so I've been buying a lot. I sold a good amount of tech stocks about 3 weeks ago after smoking the devil's lettuce on a Friday night. I was like, dude, I'm underexposed to crypto. I jumped on Charles Schwab that night, dude, and I just started selling. It processed on Monday, and then I just slowly bought ETH, Solana, Bitcoin, just plow. And since then, it's been going down. It's been going, and then
I love Clemente. He basically realized a bunch of taxes on his stock holdings. Stocks have continued to go up only since then. Then yeeted it all in. I don't know. I keep using yeet. I'm 33. Pushed it all into crypto, and now crypto is ranging. Hey, Clemente, guess what? I have faith in you. You know what? Because you know what you're doing? You're taking swings. You're taking swings, Clemente. Okay? And it may not be a home run out of the gate, but Babe Ruth wasn't hitting home runs out of the womb. You got to start taking some swings. Then you're going to get the home run zone. You got this, man. But you got to start. You got to start zagging a little when people are zigging, right? So when you see Solana all over the timeline, not the time to buy. Instead, you want to be going. You want to say, what's next?
I like that. I like that. Well, and yeah, I mean, I do have a longer term time frame. And what I'm also doing is I'm digging myself a hole, right? So I can hit rock bottom. And then it's only up from there. Right. And then I'm going to be Nick.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, to Kix's point, stocks have done pretty well. They've rebounded nicely in recent days. So I think I'm back near my all-time high. I'm looking at my like a small retirement portfolio that I have from before, and it's at nearing all-time highs, which is pretty nice.
So what are we talking? Like we're retiring tier 1 city with this portfolio, tier 2 city.
That portfolio, we're talking about not retiring.
Oh, dude, I'm so bullish. Like 96 years old, and you get a couple years. That's sick. That's sick.
Okay. I'm sure Social Security will be around in 20 years. You can rely on that.
I mean,
we've been dumping money into it. It's great.
Dude, I have way less retirement savings than I do like a brokerage account. I think my crypto portfolio is larger than my retirement.
Hey, I mean,
as it should be.
A very last thing I wanted to touch on. Easy, you tweeted out that you expect crypto to chop in for the rest of the year, essentially. What do you think, if that happens, A? B, what do we think will happen? Is that a bullish indicator for NFTs? Or are you pretty much just out on NFTs for the time being, at least on ETH?
I've been trading NFTs. I've been trading. Yeah, I've been trading mostly Solana, though. Mostly Solana. Yeah, whoo! I mean, there's just still liquidity flowing, and when Sol's going down, we're finding plays. Dude, Tensorians just did a 65% candle in one sweep. Like, Klano's bumped past 40. Mad Lab, beautiful swing for 25. Sol profit, and then you could have even bought back on the dip after their Pith airdrop. To me, I'm just looking at the market, and I want crypto chop badly because that usually opens up a lot of other opportunities. And the big thing for chop, if you see chop on the majors, Bitcoin, Ethereum, even Solana, look at some of the smaller alts that have strength because those are going to just absolutely rip on any actual aggressive update. So, like, I started a TIA position, Celestia, because it was all over the timeline. People were bullish on it. I started looking into it, and I'm like, this is really interesting to me. And it's held really well comparatively to some of these other L1s on chop days, and sometimes even Ben Green. So I'm like, okay, why would I not start a position on a really small, like a much smaller alt that's getting some legs here? It just makes way more sense to me. And I think Nick brought it up earlier. Like, when I'm talking about NFT trades, it's a very small part of my portfolio that's just like active trading so that I don't take money out of my DCA bags or like where I'm actually starting real positions and just, as Kix would say, yeet it into NFTs. Like, I'm more comfortable blowing up these smaller bags. And if I do make money on them, I even like outline the thesis. I take 60% of profits I make and put it into spot bags and leave the other 40% of profits to keep trading and compounding. So there's like a split that I've had. I've slowed down on some of it, but like when it's a quiet day, I'm like, all right, let's take a look at the market and start to see what's moving, what's happening, where are there some plays, and just try to figure out like of my core 5 holdings, what would I be comfortable with cutting one of these coins to add a new one and seeing where it goes, which was like me cutting part of like an FTM bag to start the Celestia position because I'm like, this alt looks way better. So just you gotta think and just still be curious and not write stuff off. But basically at the end of the day.
Got it. I've been sitting from the sidelines. I've been checking every single day. I go on Magic Eden. I go on Soul Sniper, and I'm just looking at the Solana collections. I was surprised to see OK Bear's only at 14 Soul. I've been dibble dabbling a little bit, but yeah, and the Bodagos Discord as well is giving some good plays. Those guys are just plugged in, but most of the time they're just buying
trade. Those guys trade. It's the most degenerate shit, dude. It's the most degenerate shit. They were like,
dude, they were trading CZ, the $CZ yesterday, and then Richard because they were like,
Richard
yeah,
Tang.
If Richard gets in,
they bought Tang was a token because they're like, he's the new CEO. This thing is gonna gig ascend. We're long Tang, and then it rugged. One of the Tangs that they bought rugged, so they were upset about that. And then they were buying. I think they were buying Solana Inscriptions. which is a dumpster fire in itself. That I'm just
Dumbest
like,
thing
why are
I've
you
ever
doing this?
heard of in my life. That's dumber than the meme coins they were trading, to be honest with you.
Well, dude, I just inscribed all of Shrek 3. So either I'm gonna go to prison or it lives forever. Shrek is life.
So, Solana inscriptions, like Bitcoin inscriptions.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, like let's like we have the lowest gas possible. Like we could just trade NFTs like normal people, but like no, dude. Let's just go deeper into the rabbit hole and like make Solana inscriptions.
Well, it also ruins the chain. It takes up a ton of block space and causes all these issues and like clogs it because like you're actually putting data on the chain, like thick data, like thicker than Nick data. It's a mess.
Yeah, I'm fading that one, to be honest.
Well, Kicks, they just launched SRC20s instead of BRC20s. So now they have shit coins that are inscribed as NFTs on chain.
Yeah.
They launched one
Literally
yesterday.
like when if you were in the 80s in Chicago trading commodities, like
Yeah, tulips.
pieces of paper. Like that's like they're like, hey, we can trade normal tokens on Solana. Instead, let's trade tokens inside NFTs, inside inscriptions.
On a gasless instant chain.
Well,
Nick, you're muted as shit, dude.
I was gonna say I didn't take enough Adderall today to follow along with you guys.
yeah, we're locked in right here. We got the three amigos. We're just shooting stuff out there. Real quick, I'm gonna read out 4 more names for Pac-Man's next product. We got Blink, we got Blown, we got Bling, and Blitz. Someone copied your guess, Kicks. So we got a
Gaming platform.
Blaze as well. I like Blaze. Will go very well with the NFT.
Blaze one for the nation.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I'm about to wrap up the show, but Kicks, anything else you wanted to discuss? Are you playing or potentially making a play on any NFTs right now, whether it's on ETH or Solana?
No, I got my Bodagos bag, just holding my dogs. You know, I got my Pudgy Penguin. I'm not buying NFTs right now, man. I'm sorry. I know as a big NFT trader, but right now where I'm at in my life, full time on the game studio, I only can make so many trades right now. NFTs, it's like you got to be glued in and you got to be like buying these rips and selling these dips. I'm more of a looking for things that I can like hold for a month and not get absolutely demolished. So that's why I like my pudgy and stuff like that. I did buy some Genesis wildcard passes a couple weeks ago. Those are up pretty nicely. I'm staying laser focused on the gaming sector. One NFT I would have bought if I could go back in time was definitely parallel avatars. That's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for, is like gaming focused NFTs. So I'll definitely buy NFTs, but when I mean like I'm not in the NFT market, I mean I'm not like trading the blurred top 20. Like that's just not what I'm interested in right now. I think I can make a lot more money just focused on the gaming sector. Made some big wins over the last 3 months with like one. You click the button once to buy with the token. You can click the button once to sell with the token. So yeah, dude. Like Prime's up almost 4x from what I bought, but parallel avatars are up like 9x. So that's the fun thing about NFTs, man, is you can get way higher returns because of the supply friction. So
and you don't have to think about the tokenomics, upcoming emissions or token unlocks. Like I like NFTs, and that's why I've been thinking about whether or not to buy. I want to buy a bunch of these like operators, for example, and just
Shrapnel ones have been a good play. Shrapnel token has been a good play. I think there's going to be some great NFT opportunities over the next 6 or 8 months. I think the entire NFT ecosystem is going through a little bit of like a growth process here, where there, games, other types of companies are trying to figure out the optimal use case like for an NFT. You know what I mean? So, because dude, isn't it kind of crazy to think how much like everything has run up and we really haven't seen like NFTs would always kind of have like their own shitcoin seasons, right? Like we had one like earlier this year, we had one like late last year. We're not seeing that stuff popping out left and right, which in my opinion means that the market doesn't really have an appetite for it. So there's going to be some sort of Phoenix reborn thing for NFTs, I think, going into next year. So I'm definitely going to be buying NFTs, but right now it's just way easier to look at gaming, buy gaming, watch price go up.
Well, absolutely. You've dominated, and you were on the show months ago talking about Prime when you bought it, I think under like $2. So shout out to anyone that paid attention to that show. You would be doing very well. I did not at all, as you can probably tell. But
well, Easy has the best gaming return of the season right now. He's been bullish on this 3ULL token. I swear to God, he's been talking about it nonstop for like 2 years, and it just like 10x'd.
2 years. As soon as Becker found it, life's been great, dude. Like, Becker found it, started pushing it heavy, and it's now done a 12x since I got in. It just, I own, that's like my AVAX nodes that everyone always hears me yell about. It just gives me, right now at current price, 4.5 AVAX every single day.
Well, guys, the sun is starting to come up behind me, so I can tell
it's getting late for Clemente
to wrap the show here. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you everyone for tuning in. Nick, people actually thought you were or you are in Yugoslavia. Like there were at least 4 comments that were like, "What is this? We're going back 50 years. Yugoslavia doesn't exist anymore. How did we get there?" So very good comments there. One more shout out to our partners over at Shrapnel. We're doing a giving. We're in a giving mood, and we're giving away 3+ medium extraction packs today. All you need to do is like the pinned tweet and comment a screenshot of your extraction pack. And if you don't own one, go to the nifty.com/shrapnel. Use promo code Nifty for 30% off.
Real quick, Easy, how much does it cost to buy those nodes to get the yield that you're getting right now?
It costs you, I think, 14 grand right now.
But when you got it, how much did it cost you?
$3,000.
And how much? What do you think if you care to share, what do you think your ROI has been already? Like realized, like you're up realized and you're printing free tokens every day.
Thousands of percentages at this point.
Yeah, thousands. I paid itself because in the bull run, it paid itself back in 21 days, and I thought it would just rug, to be honest. Like there was a big node meta on alt chains November, and I was like, oh, this thing's probably gonna rug. The whole bear, it went as low as like printing me like $12 a day, which is cool. Like you can go grab some Starbucks, hang out, whatever. And I ended up just sitting on the tokens. And then Alex Becker found it, started chilling it, and now it's just GigaCent. And I'm like, wow, I feel great keeping the tokens, and now it prints me a little over $100 a day. Just
and the
doing nothing.
node meta is kind of coming back easy, right? We got Shrapnel content nodes. We got Sobe Life with his Zai games on Arbitrum doing nodes. Nodes may be hot this cycle. So
well, it's a good way to do like a pre-sale ICO without doing an ICO. Basically, you give them a bunch of money up front, and they just give you tokens over a vested period of time.
Yeah, and you're like doing work as a node, so it's not benefiting off the work of others.
Exactly.
Got it. Well, there you go. Some little.
Let's wrap this call so we can go have a conversation about this.
Yeah, turn the damn stream off.
I will. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, ladies. And I got a couple of DMs from people saying like feeling bad for me, like, "Yo, dude, it's okay. I've got some losses too." Dude.
He's like in the loser group now. They're like,
you'll get the next one. You'll get the next one, big guy.
They'll be like, "Yo, dude, I can add you to this alpha group, dude. They've got some good calls. Get out of here. I'm fine. I don't need your help. Dude.
Don't worry. I'm gonna be sliding any alpha I got to Clemente first. Clemente's me up only 2024.
Let's go. 2024. You're the bean boy. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a phenomenal Thanksgiving if you celebrate it in the United States, and if not, enjoy some time off from us in the morning. We will be back on Monday,